the implementation machinery of the convention of a specific protocol is quite a complex exercise with the involvement of many professionals. Usually we will have at least one president of the conference. This is, so to say, the political level, the political leadership of the conference.
As the president of the conference, my job would be to move ahead and build upon the work which has already been done in the past two conferences. The last two conferences of the Protocol V have taken important decisions with regard to universalization of Protocol V, as well as strengthening implementation measures.
Because of the very technical sometimes character of the discussion, there is often a need of a special person devoted to a specific topic. These are the coordinators, usually nominated and approved by the Conference of the States Parties, who would lead the discussion on a specific topic.
This work started 2 years ago when the first Conference of State Parties to the Protocol V decided to establish a meeting of experts to deal in a concrete manner with all aspects related to the implementation of Protocol V. We are working, trying to prevent as much as possible in combat operations when a munition is used, the misfunctioning of munitions that could lead a munition to become an explosive remnant of war or an abandoned munitions.
There is a very important stipulation in Article 4 that obliges states parties first of all to record the use of weapons, then to retain or keep this information, and then to use this information for clearance and destroying of explosive remnants of war. In short, states parties which have not yet developed any system, they should develop such a system so that at any moment they are able to record the use of weapons. This is very important for clearance operations. Once the miners have this information, they can in a safe way go to the area and clear the affected territories.
Some of the core provisions of the protocol related to the state's obligations to clear and destroy the unexploded ordnance. Under these provisions, the states have agreed as soon as possible after the end of the conflict to take all necessary measures to protect civilians from the effects of ERW. They must, in particular, mark the ERW-contaminated areas. They have to assess the threat posed by ERW and prioritize their needs. They have to find the necessary resources for clearance: funds, equipment, professionals.
Well, when we refer to victim assistance, we're referring to providing for survivors of a certain weapon the services, the help they need to get over the ordeal that they've suffered. So this can involve giving them medical care, of course, if they need prosthetic limbs. But it can also involve much more than that, and we've come to understand now that it must involve much more than that. It can involve providing them psychological care. Importantly, it often involves helping them reintegrate into their community by giving them economic assistance. Vocational training can be very important. So victim assistance basically refers to the assistance that we give to survivors of certain weapon system, and it's absolutely crucial.
Unfortunately, a lot remains to be done in the area of victim assistance. As we keep hearing from the survivors and affected states, a lot remains to be done in the implementation, even once the country does adopt all legal instruments and the legal landscape is in place, meaning that all the major conventions for the rights of persons with disabilities, as well as conventions in the arms control area, are ratified. Still, the implementation is a big step away. This is where the affected country uses the experience heard from other countries in a similar situation, possible cooperation between ourselves, and most importantly with donor states who can provide and match our needs.
participants began their second day in the training facility of the EOD unit. More than 1,600 unique devices serve the basic training for the upcoming EOD experts. The commander, Colonel Gábor Hajdú, introduces and explains the purpose of this room. Traditional training is supported by the latest 3D technology. Trainees can watch the inside operation of these ordnances on their computers.
It's a very interesting display in here, particularly in the context of the whole of the CCW, because of course this workshop is to do with Protocol V, Explosive Remnants of War, of which you can see many examples of Explosive Remnants of War. But also one of the protocols in the CCW, Protocol III, deals with and bans incendiary bombs. And here there are a number of examples of the very incendiary bombs which led to that ban. And then also here, if you see hanging here, is what is credited really as being the very first cluster bomb dropped on England during the Second World War. So you have the whole spectrum of those items covered by the CCW in this room. So it's a very good, expansive collection.
It's very important to keep in mind that these explosive ordnance are dangerous after so many years as well. And it's very important to mention that it can be even more dangerous as the time goes by. These safety mechanisms built inside these ordnance can be worn, and that's why it can be more sensitive for any movement. It's really a true thing for hand grenades. For example, as you can see in my hand, it's a Italian type of hand grenade that we found under the rooftop of a high school in Hungary, and it was very important to tell the children over there not to play with this, because it doesn't look like explosive ordnance. It just they can see it as a toy or something, but we had to tell them that it's very important not to move or not to touch all of these ordnance. Maybe for this hand grenade can blow up even for the slightest move what they make with this one.